So, no sooner the other night than we got our Better Call Saul season finale video made. I'm literally sitting and editing the video that I'm starting to see articles about the anagram in the name of every episode for the season. I think, well, that's pretty cool, but, you know, so what? Vince Gilligan never confirms these things.
Yeah.
So, as I'm going on, 5 minutes later, literally 5 minutes later, I'm watching the replay of Talking Saul, and Vince Gilligan confirms that the anagram, in other words, the first letter of every episode name that season, if you push them around, it spells Fring's back. Which means to me that it was Gus Fring behind the stick in the horn and the sign in the letter or note that said "don't."
I disagree. I still think that's Nacho.
I went back and re-examined the video based on how he left the car, and when Nacho got there, it would be practically impossible. Plus, Nacho didn't arrive alone.
Oh, good point.
So those were little things that I had not looked at. Also, so did a little follow-up on that. And as of today, us making the video, Vince Gilligan says this. Yes, you caught him. He wasn't expecting people to be that sharp. Gus Fring will be here in season 3, but that doesn't mean he's going to show up in episode 1. And knowing as slow as Better Call Saul likes to be about things, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't show up until the last second of season 3.
Yeah.
And remember, I have been long calling for episode 8 of this coming season to be the actual reveal of Saul. And I stick to that gun.
Yeah.
One last thing that I got incorrect in the last video, and then I'll quit beating myself with a stick. I had mentioned that Kim, Chuck, and Nacho were the only ones that were open, you know, that you could have suspense on whether they lived or died. I went back and watched once again, and I don't know how this got past me. I went back and watched the very first appearance of Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad, where they take him out to the desert. If you listen to what he says at that point while they have him tied up, face down, out in the sand, he says that it was Ignacio's fault, and whatever was going on, they need to talk to Ignacio. Well, Ignacio is Nacho. Now, I guess they could go for the thing where there's 2 Ignacios, but come on, that's very confusing and far-fetched. If they can still talk to him at this point that Saul is talking about out in the desert, that even takes away the idea that Nacho can die during this series. Just throwing that out there.
I think it's fascinating how that turned out. I'm sure when they made that episode or wrote that episode, they weren't planning for a Better Call Saul show. They just kind of took that one little thing he said and then incorporated it into this.
Exactly. And I've heard their podcast. They actually have someone that goes back and combs through the episodes and listens to like everything that Saul has said so that they can like make it make sense.
I think you told me like when we started watching and looking at all the Easter eggs and all that, I think you said like you theorized that there was somebody doing that, but you didn't know for sure, and I guess they confirmed it. That's pretty cool.
It makes sense though.
It does make sense.
Because you know how people are. Excuse me, he wasn't wearing that tie.
Yeah.
That type thing. Okay, that's it. Now we're really done with Saul until next season. Gus is coming back. Nacho's still alive during the Breaking Bad timeline. Got anything?
Nothing.
We'll see you next year.